outside looking in. Take it all away. Take the pain and the sorrow. Take it all away. A brand new tomorrow. Take it all away. The man that you once knew. Take it. Don't know what to do. Take it all away. You're the ones that are so deep. Take it all away. Now the promises I couldn't keep. Take it all away. I don't wanna be without you. Take it. I never meant to hurt you. How can I say to you, you just don't want me to? Words that don't rhyme. I guess there's a time when we move on and look ahead. Rather be here instead, right next to you. Well, I guess that we're through. Yeah, I can't let go. I don't want to lose what I thought we had. And I just won't go unless that makes you so mad. And I'm so confused. Hey, switch it all off and the lights go black. And I feel so used. And it's ripping through my mind cause I want you back. Take it all away. Take the pain and the sorrow. Take it all away. I need a brand new tomorrow. Take it all away. I'm the girl that I once knew. Take it. Don't know what to do. Take it all away. You're the ones that are so deep. Take it all away. Now the promises I couldn't keep. Take it all away. I don't wanna be without you. Take it. Cause I never meant to hurt you. Love is priceless. Sometimes darkness. And if you make it, might be timeless. So sad, I guess is a fine mess. And all I know is now I'm loveless. Now I'm loveless. Take it all away. Take the pain and the sorrow. Take it all away. You're brand new tomorrow. Take it all away. I'm the man that you once knew. Take it. Don't know what to do. Take it all away. You're the ones that are so deep. Take it all away. Now the promises I couldn't keep. Take it all away. I don't wanna be without you. Take it. Cause I never meant to hurt you.
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Eskow and Sean Mann.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports World Radio. I am your host, Jeff Eskow. We got another jam-packed show for you guys like we do each and every Monday through Friday right here on sportsworldradio.com. Always right here on sportsworldradio.com and on Blab and the Blab channel.com as well. Hope everybody is doing great today. The Friday edition of Sports World Radio. Each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live in the mountains, figure it out for yourself. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll get into the show. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio is the way to get in touch with us. Also, follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Don't forget about SportsWorldradio.com. You can watch the replays over there if you missed the show. Check it out. We have all our replays on sportsworldradio.com as well as the blabchannel.com/sportsworldradio. With all the particulars out of the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in that co-host of ours Elliot Big E Lamba. What's going on there, my friend? How you doing?
Well, what's up, Jeff? How's it going,
doing?
my friend?
Good, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Had a pretty good day today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hopping and raring to go here, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun today.
Absolutely.
Friday
Hey,
edition.
check it out. Look at that. What's that
Yeah.
I see back there?
You like that banner I got back there?
That thing's awesome. It kind of looks like the one behind me.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool banner, huh? Check them apples out right there, huh?
That's some pretty decent artwork. You know, if you want artwork like that, all you need to do is contact me, Big E, at biggedesigns@gmail.com. And we'll put our heads together and get some good artwork going there. Now, if you want a banner itself, then basically I would recommend Sign for Our Times in Bradenton, Florida, as they are the ones that produce these banners you see behind us now.
Yeah, they're right here. I got their cards today in the mail, actually.
Did you?
See that?
Yeah, put them up there. Let them take a look. And you can reach them at 941-722-8888. And they're also, you can contact them at www.palmettosigns.com.
Yeah, they sent me a magnet, too.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Mighty white of them. And a couple of pens as well.
There you go. You're all set, man.
I'm all set, man. Got the banner, got the pens, got the cards, got the magnet. I'm set.
Man, I can't wait to see what's coming up in the future.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so what's going on, man? What's the weather like out there?
I'm out here in Bradenton, Florida, at home as usual at 6:06 p.m. Eastern Time. The weather here is 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Actually, it is now partly dark outside. So, yeah, 88 degrees. It was a really nice day today. A little overcast, but no rain, so that's good.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, what's going on over there at 3:06 p.m. on the west?
It's warm. Finally.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I know you were struggling with some serious weather issues over there.
It was freezing this morning. It was got down to like 35 degrees, man. Okay? It was really freaking cold. My feet were really freaking cold this morning. But right now it's kind of warm. What are you going to do, man? You know?
Well, last night we watched the game together, right?
Yes.
And I was telling you that it's pretty weird that it's short sleeve weather in Cincinnati, Ohio on November the 5th. And in San Diego, it's like hoodies and sweatshirt weather.
Yeah, exactly. I beats the heck out of me.
What is this world coming to?
I have no clue. Hey, we got Troy in the house, the owner of the Blab channel, in the chat room
Troy,
right now.
what's up, my man?
And he says Sportsworldradio right now is on the front page of the Blab channel. Whoop, whoop.
Whoa,
Thanks very
right.
much, Troy.
Right on. Appreciate that, Troy.
Yeah, we appreciate that, brother. Troy, you like the new banners, my friend? You like the new banners? Yeah, we're trying to step it up here just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad. Just a tad.
We got some more exciting things coming too. Yeah, I put that banner up really quick because I didn't have a lot of time. I'm gonna move it over, and then you'll be able to see everything once I get it set right. Hey, Terrence, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Terrence, my man, what's happening, buddy?
Welcome to the show. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting ball game last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, all the hoopla was, I guess, around Johnny Manziel getting a start, an NFL start, which was his fourth. Yes. But in Cincinnati last night, Andy Dalton threw 3 touchdown passes to Tyler Eifert and played lead blocker on a Mohamed Sanu reverse Thursday night, keeping the Cincinnati Bengals unbeaten with a 31-10 victory over the Cleveland Browns. The Bengals improved to 8-0 for the first time in franchise history, their longest winning streak within a season. Coming off an emotional 16-10 victory in Pittsburgh on Sunday, that gave them control of the AFC North. The Bengals dominated the Browns, who are now 2-7, and Johnny Manziel in the second half. Manziel had some of his best moments in the opening half, which ended with Cincinnati up only 14-10. In the second half, the Browns managed only 32 yards on 2 first downs. Dalton was 21 of 27 for 234 yards. Once again, Eifert's 3 touchdowns. Those catches gave him 9 for the season, tying the club record for a tight end.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I didn't watch the whole game, But really quick, I just want to make a quick reminder, okay?
Right.
We have Addy Joseph coming on the show today at 6:45 Eastern, right after the update. He'll probably be on. He'll probably pop in during the update, okay? He's coming on Blab. I just got the email from him. He is coming on Blab. So let everybody know. Tweet it out there. Addy Joseph, the editor of the Sporting News, the NBA editor for the Sporting News, is coming on Sports World Radio at 6:45 tonight. I just got the confirmation, and he's coming on Blab. What are you laughing at?
Terrence, he's like, yo, talk to Carmelo, E. He's pissing me off.
Well, that's what you get for being a Knicks fan. You got to deal with the good and the bad.
Hey, me and Carmelo aren't on speaking terms right now. 'Cause he's got me pissed off too.
You got to take the good with the bad with that guy, Carmelo Anthony, man. You got no choice.
No shit. These days he's shooting like Lala.
Yeah, no choice. No choice. But
I think Lala has a better jumper than him today.
He does. She does. She does.
I'm serious. I mean, Carmelo is just brick. I mean, he's laying brick houses all over the Garden, dude. Yeah, Lala can bang more threes. Yeah, a few other things on top of that.
I'm sure he's got. You know what? He's got to get off of Lala and start playing some basketball.
I know, man. He's got to start driving to the lane and just start making his moves. Put some finesse on that. He's trying to get all hard and shit. He ain't doing nothing. Right. Exactly. And just for the record, I ain't wearing no damn Carmelo jersey either. This is a flashback. This is Latrell Sprewell, baby. For you real Knicks fans out there.
Latrell Sprewell.
Latrell Sprewell.
I didn't know that guy was still around.
World B. Spree.
I didn't know that guy was still around.
Oh, he not? He's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I ain't heard from him since he missed I
ain't heard from him in ages.
Against San Antonio in the NBA Finals way back when the Knicks lost.
That's right. I ain't heard from him from ages.
Word up or end up like Lamar Odom? Really? You think he's going to end up like that?
No.
Come on now.
No.
Give him a break, Terrence. His jump shot's just off. He ain't lost a damn
ride. Okay. Let's hold off on the NBA talk until Addy gets here, and then we'll talk the NBA we want.
No NBA talk except for when I do my first update.
Right. Addy Joseph is coming on at 6:45 hour today. He's coming on Blab, so get all your NBA questions ready for Addy
absolutely.
Joseph.
You know what? You're going to want to ask that guy some questions.
That's right. He's the NBA editor of the Sporting News. So get your NBA questions right. And tweet it out there. Go over to your Twitter and say @SportsWorldRadio is having @Addy Joseph on at 6:45 today. Everybody come on over and give them the link and get their butts over here. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's not every day that we're going to get a knowledgeable media person on such as that. I mean, this is an editor. This is the guy that cuts everything up before it hits the
Sporting News editor,
the internet, and anywhere else that the media is being sent off to. So,
correct.
You guys got firsthand opportunity to question someone of authority that knows the sport inside out.
That's right. Addy Joseph, NBA Sporting News editor. So,
and on Blab, the only place you get that is here on Sports World Radio.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be lots of fun. All right, so back to last night's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to last night's game. In the first half, it looked like maybe Johnny Manziel had a little something for the Bengals, especially on that drive that they had towards the end of the first half. Mm-hmm. They closed the lead. They closed the gap to 14-10 at that point. It was really interesting that Johnny Manziel was holding his own basically at that point. However, there are two halves of football, as we all know. And whatever it was that the defensive coordinator and Marvin Lewis or whoever ran the conversation in the locker room at halftime, it definitely pissed the defense off.
Yes.
Because in the second half, they can only muster 32 yards. 32 yards.
Yeah, and you know something? Right. Johnny Manziel was 15 of 33 for 168 yards overall, correct?
Yeah, but how many in the first half?
He was 11 of 18 in the first half.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means he was 4 of 15 in the second half?
15 in the second half. 4 of 15 in the second half. What was it? 30-something yards? 38 yards? Whatever it was? 40 yards? Whatever he got? It was crap.
Well, he had 168 yards total.
Correct.
What did he have in the first half?
128 in the first half, 40 in the second half.
So 40 in the... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So in other words, the Snickers Johnny showed up in the first half.
Correct.
And the real Johnny showed up in the second half.
Correct. Hey, Hans, how you doing? Don't forget Addy Joseph.
I bet you ain't going to see Morgan on here today.
Who knows? Don't forget Addy Joseph, NBA Sporting News NBA editor, is coming on Blab to hang out with us and talk about the NBA. So get your questions ready for that. Don't forget, we do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you happen to live in the Atlantic, figure that crap out for yourself, because I sure as hell ain't doing it for you. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely.
Right now.
You know what? Figure it out. And when you find out what the Atlantic is all about, please let us know.
That's right, because we sure as hell don't know.
That's
right. Yeah, he was.
It looks like here.
He was 11 of 18 for the first half and 4 of 15 for the second half. That's Jonathan Manziel football right there.
Yeah, you only get one half out of him.
I'm telling you, the Cincinnati defense shut him down in the second half. No doubt about it.
That was a beat down from the defense in the second half. I mean, they had, as a matter of fact, I think in the third quarter alone, they only had 7 yards of total offense.
They shut him down big time in the second half.
7 yards.
That's awesome, huh?
Incredible. Night and day between
That's
two
awesome,
halves.
baby.
I see here he also rushed 4 times for 31 yards, carrying a 7.8 yards per carry.
Correct.
I mean, he's got the wheels. He did get sacked 3 times last night. But those sacks, I mean, there was nowhere for him to go. They were right on top of him. And really, there was nowhere for Johnny to go except down. And,
correct.
No matter how much speed it is, I mean, Johnny is Johnny, and he's going to get rattled if there's too much pressure. You know, some of those throws that he was making, he was overthrowing big time. You know, if he were able to get his game under control somewhat, he might be able to put forth a full game effort. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, I just don't see that happening with him.
I don't see it happening either.
I mean, word has it that the best thing that he could possibly do is just get as good as he can while he's in Cleveland and try to find somewhere else to go.
Correct.
Because Cleveland is not Cleveland and Johnny Manziel are not the answer for one another.
No. Oh, are you kidding me? No way.
No.
Not even close. Not even close.
It's not a match.
No.
And in order for them to be able to succeed in their own right, each one of them is going to have to, or they're going to have to part ways.
Correct.
You know, and I was concerned about that from the beginning. Why? Because what was the scenario behind Johnny Manziel getting drafted by Cleveland? Do you remember that?
Well, no. The only person that wanted Johnny Manziel on Cleveland was the owner, the general manager, and the head coach didn't want Johnny.
What did Johnny Manziel do on the night of the draft?
Sat there in the freaking draft room for hours.
No. He made a phone call to the guy, his guy in Cleveland, and said, "Look, you guys need to draft me and let's wreck this league together."
I listen. I don't know why they took him. I don't know why
he called him, and the guy that wanted him took him. Somehow or another, the owner just stepped in and said, "You know what? We're taking Johnny."
The owner called up and said, "This is who you're taking, and this is who I want, and that's that. That's it."
And as the picks kept rolling along, finally Johnny picked up the phone and made a call of his own.
Hey, you know something, Christopher? You know something, Christopher? You're absolutely right. Back in my day, too, growing up, first-year quarterback sat for at least 2 years. Nowadays, they play right away.
Back in the day, there wasn't all the hype that there is today.
Well, back in the day, they weren't getting. Back in the day, they weren't getting paid $20 million a year either. Or whatever the hell it is.
As a matter of fact, you're right. You're right.
Okay, right. Or whatever the hell it is now. They were lucky if they were getting $1 million a year back in the day. Lucky.
The commercial part of the game has really changed the whole landscape.
Well, yeah. Now the NFL is a $9 billion industry. Back in the day, it wasn't that much. It wasn't a $9 billion industry back then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, there was a period where the NFL was actually struggling.
Correct.
A couple of decades ago, where they found themselves in some struggling times, and I think they had
no money. Exactly, they had no money, but now all the networks are throwing money at them hand over fist. That's why they're making $9 billion a year, plus all of.
Hey, 10 minute, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Plus all the sponsors they have. It's ridiculous. It's going pretty good.
Sponsorships and corporate, advertising and, social media alone and the internet.
Correct.
I mean, it's
ridiculous.
It's a cash cow. It's a cash cow all over the place.
Don't forget coming up.
Full of cash cows.
Don't forget coming up at the quarter of the hour, right after our first break, we have Addie Joseph, the NBA Sporting News editor, coming on Blab to talk with us about NBA. Addie Joseph, Sporting News editor, coming on Blab to talk about NBA with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get ready for that. That's coming up after the first break today. So
today, Mike Patton.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as of today, Mike Patton is not committing to another Johnny Manziel start as of this point.
No, because of the way Johnny played in the second half. Yeah. The way he played in the second half, it's that simple.
If the game would have ended at halftime, Johnny Manziel would be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
Right. Right. And listen, Cleveland's not going to go anywhere anyway, especially in that division with the way Cincinnati's playing. Okay, they're not making no playoffs. So they might as well let Johnny play until McLeod is fully healed. You
mean McLeod?
Yeah, McLeod. I like to call him McLeod.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to call him McLeod. It's easier for me to remember than McClown. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking that they're going to end up doing. But how do you go from 11 of 18 in the first half to 4 of 15 in the second half? Johnny, you're supposed to be an NFL football player or a quarterback. Those stats right there, that's Tim Tebow-esque. Right there. That's Tim Tebow-esque. You are going to be over at the SEC network doing play-by-play games or be the color analyst or whatever the hell you're going to do over there. You're going to be over there with Tim Tebow. Watch. I'm just saying. Maybe even in the CFL there, you rat bastard.
Oh, my God. He's the hump, huh?
He is.
Speaking of which, don't we have some awards?
Yes, it is Friday. We'll do that at the last 15 minutes of the show. It is Friday. We'll be giving out our Rap Bastard of the Week, our SWR Hump of the Week, and also our Skippy Bellis Douche Canoe Award winner of the week as well. That's right. It is Friday. We got those coming up as well. How do you go 4 or 15 in the second half, man, and show 40 stinking yards? How does that happen?
Well, the defense finally gets up off the floor from laughing at the fact that you're starting the game. And in the second half, they compose themselves and come out and beat you down the way they're supposed to in the first half.
Whistle me that one, Dixie boy. I don't get it.
I have no idea, Muskrat Man.
I don't get it at all. It is sad. It is sad. He played a good first half, and then Cincinnati decided to put the clamps down, and that's the end of it. Now, if he plays any other, that's probably well, I can't say that because Elliot and I, early this morning, I'm talking early for me. I didn't go to bed till really super early, like 8 o'clock this morning.
Believe me, folks, that is pretty early, man.
Yeah. So Elliot and I were actually going over the Cleveland Cavaliers schedule, weren't we, Elliot? This morning,
the Cavaliers?
Right? I mean, I'm sorry, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jeez Louise. See, I got NBA on my mind.
You got LeBron on your mind.
No, I got NBA on my mind because
no, that's LeBron. You know it. You just don't want to admit it.
I got NBA on my mind because
man crush on that guy. Come on now.
I can't stand that guy. I can't.
Just come out of the closet already. You got
I'm boycotting. You know I'm already boycotting every freaking Cleveland basketball game except when they play on against the Knicks on TV. I don't watch a game at all. Not one game. So we were I was looking at the schedule this morning with him. Okay. They played
Man Crush. Yeah, Campagna, Terrence.
They played.
Yeah, and he's right. I am up at 4 a.m.
They played Cincinnati last night, correct?
Yeah.
Right? They played Cincinnati last night.
Uh-huh.
November 15th is their next game. They're in Pittsburgh. Okay?
In Pittsburgh.
Then week 11, they have a bye.
Another loss. Oh, not during the bye to Pittsburgh. I mean,
right? No,
the Browns were bad enough to lose on a bye week.
Correct. No, I know what you're saying. After their bye week, they got the Ravens, and then they got the Bengals.
Okay, I say they have a chance to beat the Ravens.
They've already beat them once.
Yeah, and this one's in Cleveland.
Correct. Okay.
And so I think so now let's see. They're 2-7 now. That makes them 3-9 after the Cleveland game. I mean the Cincinnati game.
They lost. So what's their record right now?
No, their record right now is 2-7. So you said they're playing Pittsburgh.
No, they got Steelers, so they'll be 2-8. Then they got the break, and then they play the Ravens.
That'll be 3-8.
Then they got Cincinnati.
3-9.
Then they got San Francisco.
4-9.
Okay. And then the final 3 games. This is a killer final 3 games for Cleveland. I don't know how this happened. At Seattle. Loss, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's 4-10 right there.
At Kansas City.
4-11. Those are the 2 loudest stadiums in the world.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
Number 1 and 2, and they tend to flip-flop.
Correct.
In the Guinness book.
Correct. And then they end the season at home against the Steelers.
That would be 4-12. Thank you very much.
Are you kidding me? Seattle, Kansas City, and the Steelers, the last 3 games of the year, and the Seattle and the Kansas City game are both on the road in the 2 loudest stadiums in the NFL?
Don't be surprised if McClown retires before those 3 games.
Holy crap. Really?
Hey, what's going on, Scott?
Hey, Scott. Hey, Morgan. Don't forget, we got Addy Joseph, Sporting News NBA editor, coming on the show at 6:45 talking to us about the NBA. Going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so their final 3 games. That's ridiculous. At Seahawks, at Kansas City.
We've had many thoughts about Johnny Morgan. You see Morgan's comment? We've had many thoughts about Johnny.
Thoughts about Johnny? I'll start. Morgan, I'll give you this one right here. Here, this is my thought about Johnny. 4-15 for 40 yards in the second half. Way to go, Johnny!
4 of 15 for 40 yards.
That's my thought about Jonathan Manziel. Jonathan Football Manziel, I should say. Okay, 40. He was 15 of 33, 168 yards, 11 of 18 in the first half. Good for 40 of 50.
Great first half for him.
Of 15 in the second for 40 yards. That's Jonathan Football Manziel right there. That's him in a nutshell right there. I saw that tweet. Colbert? Yeah, I saw that tweet you put up there, Morgan. Johnny's looking better than I thought. Yeah, in the first half.
In the first half.
But in the second half, he was Jonathan Football Manziel.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati just clamped down. So Cincinnati did what they did to Jonathan. Can you imagine when they go to Seattle, go to Kansas City, and they're still got to play the Steelers twice yet? Come on.
4-12. 4.
Really?
4.
Come on, man.
4 and 12?
Yeah.
Is that how you do 12?
Yeah. 4 and 12. 4 and 12.
4 and 12?
4 and 12. It don't matter.
Either way, they're going to get a high draft pick again. And they'll probably screw that up, too.
Well, there's really no good quarterbacks in college right now, are there?
Nope.
So they're stuck with McLeod and Manziel.
McLeod and Manziel.
McLeod. I like to call him McLeod.
McLeod. Well, I call him McClown. I've just gotten used to that, and that's just the way it's going. Hey, what they call him? Johnny what?
Jonathan.
Oh, God. What did they call him in this commercial?
I don't know.
Johnny Be Good? Johnny Feel Good?
Jonathan Football Man. Listen, he hasn't.
Does anybody remember what his name was in this commercial?
He hasn't earned the name Johnny. So he's Jonathan Football Manziel. He hasn't earned the name Johnny in the NFL, has he?
When is his name going to change to SEC?
After his contract's up with Cleveland?
Jonathan SEC Manziel.
After his contract's up with Cleveland?
Oh yeah, Johnny Jam Boogie.
Johnny Jam Boogie.
in the video, the GIF.
Yeah, he's gonna be the co-host of the
Have a Snickers
with Tim Tebow of the SEC network. Yeah.
You know what happened, Jeff?
What?
He didn't have a Snickers in the second half.
That could have very well been. Cincinnati Bengals took all the Snickers out of the locker room.
And Johnny Jam Boogie disappeared.
The Cincinnati Bengals
never came back out of the locker room.
The Cincinnati Bengals took all the Snickers out of the Cleveland's locker room.
You say, oh, yeah, okay, Morgan. Yeah, you think that makes sense?
Oh, that makes sense now.
Snickers? Oh, okay. Before Addie comes on the show, can we have predictions on tonight's debate?
What debate? Who's debating tonight?
Who's debating?
If it's a political debate, hell no.
No.
When Addie comes on and you have questions for him, you guys know how to put the questions in the box, right? Ask those questions the correct way, and we'll get them to Addie. /
Who said he was an NFL quarterback?
Question, space, and then ask your question.
Morgan. Besides Morgan.
He's not an NFL quarterback. There's no way
Besides Morgan.
He proved it last night in the second half. He proved me right once again in the second half. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for proving me right. Much obliged.
When I watched the game in the first half, there were some throws that he made that were laser-like. I mean, he was firing some pretty.
And they had to move the pocket.
He had a lot of zip on the ball.
And they had to move the pocket.
In that first half.
And they moved the pocket. His balls were
traveling. And he moved in the pocket. There was a point there where he was actually just standing in the pocket and not really doing much of anything. He's just moving his feet.
Yeah, what was that? It was like he was doing a shuffle or something.
He was walking around in the pocket.
It's like he was doing the shuffle. Hey, Jimmy. It was like he was doing the shuffle, man. I couldn't believe it.
But they couldn't get to him. And when he moved and he made it to the outside and he opened up stuff just like the ball he threw across the field towards the end zone, he can make those kind of things happen when he buys time. The only thing is that defenses pick up on that after a while, and he doesn't get those lanes anymore where he can kind of hang out and tap dance his way around while waiting for somebody to get open.
You know what? I couldn't say it any better than that, Scott. Cincy D would not let him out of the pocket in the second half. He can't play from the pocket, and he was exposed as the fraud he is.
For the fraud he is. Scott's really Scott is relentless when it comes to Johnny.
And Scott happens to be a Cleveland Browns fan. How sad is that?
And that's what makes the whole situation worse for him is that he's got Johnny Manziel on Cleveland.
Look at him. And the Browns defense couldn't stop anyone if they were allowed to play 15.
Well, they couldn't stop Tyler Eifert last night. That's for sure.
Yeah, and Skip, no. I don't care what you say. Tyler Eifert is Gronk-esque. Get the hell out of here. That's ridiculous. Take that statement and shove it where the sun don't shine.
Hey, Scott, you're not the only one, buddy. He got me 28.3 points last night in fantasy. You know what? I must disagree with you on that. I mean, I'm not going to say he is anything close to being Gronk himself, but Tyler Eifert, for the time he's been in the league so far, he is making some serious strides to get him to the level of what a Gronk can do.
But the key word in that sentence you said, for as time he's been in the league so far. How long has he been in the league?
A couple years.
How long has Gronk been in the league?
Understandable.
Exactly.
But you have to look
at
1
year does not
you have
make
to
a
look
tight
at the
end.
argument from the other side, okay? And that is that for the point he's at in his first 2 years, he's actually right there with what Gronk did in his first 2. So right now he's on pace to be Gronk-like for the rest of his career.
Well, you know what? Let's see if he can do it year after year after
It's only
year.
the second year.
Because you know damn well, as I do, he could fade away next year and you're not going to hear a damn thing about it.
Yeah, but you know what? He played really well last year. This year would have been the so-called sophomore jinx. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually come out better this year than he was last year.
That's because Andy Dalton's playing better this year.
So he's getting progressively better.
Hey, Addy.
And the guy has skills. And yes, it's hard to compare him to Gronk because of the difference of time they've been in the league. But if his career continues to go in the pattern that it's going, he has the numbers right now that will eventually result in being Gronk-like numbers in the future.
Correct.
Okay, correct. That's what the argument
he's
is.
Got to do it year after year. He's only been in the league 2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years. Right.
Okay, so don't give me he's Gronk-esque yet. He's only been in the league 2 years.
I never said he was Gronk.
No, not you. Skippy douchebag Bayless, okay? All right, him. Don't give me that he's Gronk-esque yet. The guy's been in the league for 2 years. Let's see if he can do it for a couple more years, and then I'll believe the hype.
I'm just saying he has the potential to be Gronk-like because he does possess the abilities to get open the way Gronk does. He made a move on one of those safeties last night for his third touchdown.
Correct.
Where the safety ran up 2 yards, and by the time he got those 2 yards, Eifert was 2 yards behind him. Okay, he faked him so bad, the guy had to stop to pick up his jockstrap off of the 5-yard line.
Right.
Because he got juked. And he went in for his third touchdown. He has the ability to get open. He's a big target, and he's pretty swift for a man his size, just like Gronk.
Correct.
Nobody's gonna go out on a limb and say he is a Gronk because Gronk is one of a kind.
Right.
But for the talent,
I get that. But he's not
right there.
But for right now, let's not get crazy, Skip.
But that's why he's ranked the number 2. That's why he's ranked the number 2 tight end in football right now, not number 1, because there's a little distance there between 1 and 2 at the moment. Okay, 1 is always going to be Gronk. There's no tight end better than Gronk, period.
Correct.
Okay, but Tyler Eifert is the next closest thing to Gronk.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't care as long as he keeps. If he can put up 28 points a week for me, I could care less what they call him.
See, that's the problem, man. Fantasy football is ruining the game, man. That's the problem. Fantasy football is ruining the game. Because nobody cares about the game; they just care about their fantasy points. You know what I mean?
I'm guilty as charged.
And here's a great example. Here's a great example of that. Bortles. Okay?
Blake Bortles. Yep.
Blake Bortles, a perfect example of that. Okay. Guy gets a lot of fantasy points, but not a good quarterback. Not a good quarterback. He's better than Manziel. I'll give you that.
You see now Morgan's chanting Bortles only because he can't chant Johnny.
Of course,
Johnny.
Of course,
where are you, Johnny?
Hey, we have Addie Joseph in the room with us right now. I'll tell you what. Let's run to our first update really quick. Let's do this update. On the other side of the update, we'll have Addie Joseph jump on in with us here on the show. The Sporting News NBA editor, Addie Joseph, is going to jump in after the update, and we're going to talk some NBA with Addie Joseph. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's The Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Elliot, with the first update of the day.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. We're here for the first update of the day. The time right now is 40 minutes after the 6 o'clock hour on this Friday, November the 6th, 2015. For Sports World Radio, I'm Elliot Big E Lumba, bringing you our first Sports World Radio update of the day. As we mentioned earlier, last night there was a football game played in Cincinnati with the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals went on to win that game last night, 31-10, spoiling Johnny Manziel's efforts to make himself a presence in the NFL. Manziel basically had a good first half, but showed up as the Johnny we all know in the second half. On the other hand, Andy Dalton went 21 for 27 with 234 yards and 3 touchdowns to Tyler Eifert to take the Bengals on to victory. In the NBA, Derrick Rose came up big down the stretch to score 29 points, and Jimmy Butler added 26 to lead the Bulls to a 104-98 victory over Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Dwayne Wade showed no ill effects from a migraine headache 2 days ago, scoring 25 points to lead the Heat to a 96-84 victory over the Timberwolves last night in Minnesota. Out in Dallas, center Al Jefferson scored a season-high 31 points on 15 of 18 shooting, and Marvin Williams added 17 points and 12 rebounds as the Hornets pulled away in the second half to defeat the Mavericks 108-94. Out in Denver, Hayward scored 20.7 in the fourth quarter, and the Utah Jazz pulled away late to beat the Denver Nuggets 96-84. And in the last game of the evening in the NBA last night, Damian Lillard scored 27 points, including 7 three-pointers, and Portland used its speed, athleticism, and long-range shooting touch to beat Memphis 115-96. Over in the NHL, at the First Niagara Center in Buffalo, the Tampa Bay Lightning scored 3 goals in the first period against the Buffalo Sabres and got great goaltending from Andrei Vasilevsky to win for the second time in 3 games. Vasilevsky made 30 saves, and Nikita Kucherov had a goal and an assist to help the Lightning to a 4-1 victory. At the Verizon Center in Washington, Alex Ovechkin scored, and Braden Holtby made 28 saves to help the Capitals defeat the Boston Bruins 4-1. At the Bell Center in Montreal, the Canadiens are doing a very good job of weathering an injury to Carey Price that has sidelined their superstar goalie for a 4-game homestand. Dezen Descharnay and Brendan Gallagher scored goals a minute and 33 seconds apart in the third period, and the Montreal Canadiens defeated the New York Islanders 4-1. At the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, the Ottawa Senators defeated the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 in a shootout Thursday for their second home win of the season. Bobby Ryan, Kyle Turris, and Mika Zibanejad scored in the shootout for Ottawa, who is now 7-4-2. Out at the Xcel Energy Center in Minnesota, forward Cody Hodgson picked up a good time to score his first goal with the Nashville Predators. Hodgson's goal with 5:21 remaining in the third period helped the Predators to a 3-2 win against the Minnesota Wild. At the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, Michael Backlund picked the perfect time to end his scoring slump. Backlund scored 35 seconds into overtime, and Kerry Romo made 26 saves when the Calgary Flames defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1. Out in Glendale, Arizona, the Arizona Coyotes defenseman Nicholas Grossman scored in the first and second periods to help the Coyotes build a 3-1 lead, and they held on for a 4-2 win against the Colorado Avalanche. At the Staples Center, in Los Angeles, the Columbus Blue Jackets did not have a shot on goal in an emotional-filled second, the first time in franchise history that the Blue Jackets were held without a shot in a period. But the Blue Jackets regained their poise, and Gregory Campbell scored the winning goal midway through the third for a 3-2 win against the Los Angeles Kings. And finally, in San Jose at the SAP Center, the San Jose Sharks started fast, getting first-period goals from Brent Burns and Jonas Donskoy, and rolled to a 5-2 victory against the Florida Panthers. This update was brought to you by the Flipper. Now, just imagine, folks, never having to touch your toilet seat with either of your hands ever again. Well, that's exactly what you'll have when you get your hands on the Flipper. For more information on this must-own sanitary device and to get one of your own, visit flipperflipper.com. Once again, that's flipperflipper.com. Now, let's get back to the show that delivers real sports talk for real sports fans right here at Sports World Radio. Back to you, Jeff, with Addie Joseph.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Elliot Big E Lombard bring you this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live in the Atlantic, I don't really care because
figure it out.
That's right, because nobody knows what time it is in there. Addie, you can jump in the seat whenever you like. There's our man, Addie Joseph, NBA editor at the Sporting News. Let's make sure everything is working. It is a technical thing. You just never know. Hey, Addie, how you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for showing up and being here on Sports World Radio. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Pleasure to meet you, Addie.
How about the new platform that we're on? You like this?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I wasn't quite sure about the instructions, but then just figured it out right away.
It was pretty easy, huh? I'm really glad that you decided to come on Blab with us, and welcome to Blab.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat that you could just sign right in with your Twitter account, ain't it?
Yeah.
So now we get to see each other when we're talking. It's a lot better on the phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you say we get into some NBA talk? Any of you guys in the chat room have a question for Addie? Go ahead and ask it. Ellie and I will ask us our questions until we see any questions from you up on the board. NBA season just began last Tuesday, in fact. Your opinion on the beginning of the season?
I think most things. Well, for one, we've avoided a major injury, so that's always good. And I think most things have kind of gone as sort of expected. There's been a few surprises. The Portland Trailblazers are a little better than we thought. The Pelicans are really struggling. But right now, I feel pretty good about the direction this season's going and being really exciting. There's a lot of good games. There's some good rivalries, and the Warriors are just absolutely ridiculous.
They're out of their minds, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Warriors, Christopher actually asked us, "Is Golden State for real?"
Oh, they're beyond for real. I mean, they're already the champions, so there's not any doubt there. And now they're coming out and they're just every bit as good as they were last year, maybe better. Steph Curry certainly looks better. I guess you could maybe argue that some of the role players haven't been quite as good as they were last year, but that was sort of expected. That they've beaten everyone. They've had a good schedule. They've got more good games coming up. I don't know what more you can ask, especially from Curry.
Right.
It didn't seem possible that he'd repeat because everything kind of worked out so perfectly last year, and he's already looked like the MVP so far.
Morgan asks, your most improved player of the season so far? Because it's really early, so, you know.
It's very early.
Very early.
But I think there's one guy who really stands out, and that's Andre Drummond. He's basically elevated himself to superstar level. He's averaging 20 and 20 basically for the Pistons, and the Pistons are 3-1. 3-1, 3 games, not a huge sample size, but I think what happened was he kind of got lost playing next to Greg Monroe, and especially playing next to Josh Smith. Now this is his team. This is a team that was completely built around him, and he looks very comfortable, very confident, and it's really nice to see him delivering on his potential. And then the other guy I like is Kenneth Faried from the Nuggets, who kind of hated playing for Brian Shaw and finally looks comfortable again playing for Michael Malone.
Fareed's a good ball player.
Yeah, he is, and he proved that.
I know the Knicks tried to get him at one point.
Addy Joseph, NBA Sporting News editor, joining us here on Sports World Radio. Speaking of the Knicks, both of us are big New York Knicks fans. He's got an old Spreewell jersey on. Your thoughts on Porzingis?
All right, so I got the chance to cover him in a preseason game against the Hornets because I'm in Charlotte. And
okay.
I knew, obviously the guy's big, but he's standing next to Cody Zeller, who's a 7-foot center, and Porzingis is so much bigger than Zeller.
Holy cow.
He's a legit 7'2". He might even be 7'3".
That's what I've been hearing, 7'3".
He's got huge shoulders, so he's going to grow into that body. And he's got the most ridiculous wingspan. I mean, the guy size alone would have potential. But then on top of that, he's shown some real skill, and he's shown some sense of what he's doing, and he's working hard. I feel like I liked him in the draft. I thought he was a fine pick, 4th overall. I think I might have been underrating him. And I've seen some people saying basically second to Towns among the prospects based on how well they've played so far. And he's looked really, really good. There's no doubt about it. So I have a very, very optimistic perspective on the guy I call Staps. I like that nickname, Staps.
Staps.
Is that what that your nickname
Zinger.
you gave for him?
He hates Zinger.
Staps?
So
his first name is Chris Staps, right?
Yeah. So Porzingis, it would have been pretty easy to just go with Zinger, but he hates
Right.
I'd be mad too.
So he doesn't like Zinger, but he's okay with Staps. Okay,
Staps.
so you know what? That's what we're going to
Staps.
call him. Instead of saying Porzingis from now on, Staps.
Yeah, I like Staps.
I like that. That's what we're just going to call him from now on. Staps.
I wouldn't even
it's
feel
a lot easier to
calling him
remember.
Zinger.
Yeah, he's a big guy too. So he looks a little like Ivan Drago a little bit.
You call him whatever he wants you to call him. Okay, with that kind of size.
So with Staps over there with the Knicks, what them only winning 17 games last year? What do you project them to win?
They only
year?
won 17 games because Carmelo played half the season, and Carmelo didn't even seem to want to play those half. So
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna win a lot more games this year. They're gonna double that minimum. At minimum, that's 34 wins. I think that
can get you into the playoffs, right?
Probably not 34, but like 37, 38 would. Okay. I think that's pretty realistic. They absolutely should be in the hunt for the 7-8 seed in the East. They're not good enough to win this year, but if Porzingis develops and Carmelo stays healthy, maybe in a year or two they can. Jaren Grant has been really good.
Don't they have
that second team?
The starting guards
else.
are a problem right now.
Yeah, you know what? The second team, start some of the guys from the second team.
Don't they have substantial cap space available for next season?
Yeah, they do, and they'll certainly be targeting Kevin Durant and everyone else. But who knows whether that happens? Either way, they've got a potential star in Porzingis. That's all you need in this league is one superstar. So,
right. Your thoughts on Cleveland with. We like to call them the geriatric team over there because they're kind of old and they're kind of hurt. Your thoughts on Cleveland this year?
The backcourt's fell apart before the season started. Shumpert and Kyrie are out. So what really can you how much can you read into this for them when they're without those two guys? They're 4-1. They're killing teams. Kevin Love after last year, Kevin Love looks good this year. It's kind of like what Chris Bosh happened. And remember when Bosh played on the Heat, his first year was rough. He figured it out the second year and figured out what his role was, and that's what Love's done. So my feeling is if they enter the playoffs healthy, no one in the East can hang with them. And that puts them in the finals, and if you make it to the finals, things can happen, and LeBron can step his game up when he needs to. So a lot's going to hinge on whether at least one, if not both of those guards, is healthy for the playoff run.
Right, and that's the key word there
for everyone, really.
Right there.
Given the last couple of years.
Right, that's the. Now down in Miami, Morgan is touting Miami pretty big. He actually thinks they can go far.
He said they're going to the finals
in the playoffs, right? He says they're going to the finals in the East. What's your thoughts on that?
I like the Heat this year. I think that they have a really talented roster. I think they have a roster that's going to let Dwayne Wade not have to carry the team the whole time. And that's really important because Dwayne's just always going to have minor injury problems when he's asked to do too much. So I certainly think that my pick to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to the Cavs was the Wizards. But I think the Heat and the Raptors and the Hawks and the Bulls are all certainly in that conversation. And they're all interesting teams. They all have things that I like about them and things that are major flaws. And, Miami can win the East. If those Cavs injuries keep coming, Miami could win the East. I could see that.
What?
Addy Joseph, Sporting News NBA editor, joining us here on Sports World Radio.
Hey, Addy, with the acquisition at coach of Billy Donovan in Oklahoma City, I see they're kind of off to, which is understandable, having a new coach, a new system, so on and so forth. Where do you see Oklahoma City in the Western Conference picture this year with Donovan at the helm?
Yeah, you kind of knew it would start a little rough. They had a tough schedule, and if you look at their losses were to a really good Raptors team, the Bulls last night, and the Rockets, who had a lot to prove because they had lost their first few games. So I'm not worried at all about the Thunder in any way except please let us see at least one playoff where Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant stay healthy. I mean, we haven't seen it. Well, it's been three years of injuries, and until if we can't see that, then we don't really know anything about this team. So if those guys are healthy in the playoffs, the coach is not gonna matter that much. They're a scary team with those two guys who might be two of the 5 best players in the league.
What do you think about Russell's attitude during the playoffs? Should they be concerned with it?
I'm a Russell Westbrook backer. I think he knows how to play off Durant. Durant likes playing with him, and it's one of those things where it's really easy to criticize a point guard for shooting too much, and then you look, and by the way, the NBA champion last year was the Warriors, whose point guard shot a lot. And, Russell Westbrook's averaging 27 points and 10 assists this year. So, yeah.
Which is surprising. Surprising to me.
He didn't have anyone to pass to at times other than Durant. And Durant, can create his own shot. So sometimes people criticized him for taking a bad shot. You know who took the bad shot against the Rockets, though? It was Durant. The ball wasn't in Westbrook's hands, and Durant took a terrible shot at the end of that Rockets game that pretty much cost them the game. Both of those guys are great players. The ball should be in one of their hands almost all the time. If you're criticizing, I get it. I get that people want to see Kevin Durant with the ball in every clutch possession, but even he's going to make mistakes sometimes. So let me just put it this way. I'd rather have Russell Westbrook than not have Russell Westbrook.
Okay, you mentioned Kevin Durant's last year, possibly with Oklahoma. Do you see him staying there or going somewhere else? And if he does go, where do you see him going?
I can definitely see him leaving. And I think there's a lot of teams with stakes there. There's the Lakers always in the conversation, at least. The Knicks could be in the conversation. I'll say that and make you guys happy. But I think the Wizards are probably the favorite if anyone gets him. Because he's
from Washington.
Yeah, he puts it on for the city all the time. He's a huge Redskins fan. I think he probably stays in Oklahoma City for maybe I wouldn't be surprised, and I can't remember where I read it, but someone suggested stay in Oklahoma City for one more year so that you and Westbrook can hit free agency at the same time. Because Russ is a free agent in 2017, and that's an interesting option.
Right.
It would be absolutely devastating for Oklahoma City to lose Westbrook and Durant in the same offseason. it would probably potentially kill the franchise. But they could make a decision together that might be better for both of them, just by getting one more year together if they wanted to. So I'll say this: no one knows what he's thinking. That much is clear.
Correct. Nobody does. Morgan asks, your dark horse team in the NBA this year.
Dark horse in the sense of winning a title?
That, or maybe just a team that's going to surprise everybody who we don't think who's going to have a good season.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we all know in the NBA there's rarely a dark horse title winning team. I mean, I guess the Warriors were kind of last year.
Right.
If there's a Warriors team this year, the Raptors are an interesting team because they played really good defense, and that had been a problem. They're a definite dark horse team that kind of snuck up on people because they made some under-the-radar moves in the offseason. With that said, in terms of just surprisingly good team in general, I would say the Utah Jazz, I think people kind of expected this to be a breakout year for them, and they've looked pretty good at times. And the Portland Trailblazers were thought to be one of the worst teams in the league, and all they can do is make shots right now. So who knows what to read of that, but they've definitely been an interesting team for the first 6 games.
Addy, is San Antonio, do they have a shot at winning it this year, or are they just too old now? I mean, they lost to Washington the other night, so.
Yeah, but the Wizards are good. I wouldn't ever rule out the Spurs, but my problem with them is more that they're the 2 most important positions in the NBA forever since the beginning of the league are point guard and center.
Correct.
And their center is Tim Duncan, who's playing kind of out of position, prefers being a power forward, and their point guard is Tony Parker, and both of those guys are pretty old. They're not always going to be able to play 30 minutes in a game. I like what they have. Certainly adding LaMarcus Aldridge, keeping Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. Those are great moves that they made this offseason. They might be better next year when they can get another reinforcement or two around, or especially at center, because they don't really have a good option behind Duncan. Right.
Hey, Addy, I know you got to run. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Sports World Radio. We really appreciate your time. And now that you can get on Blab, we hope we can see you again here really soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Talk to you later, guys.
Thank you so much, Addy. We appreciate it. There goes our good friend, Addy Joseph of the Sporting News, the NBA editor of the Sporting News over there. Follow Addy on Twitter. Check out all his NBA stuff and stuff like that. He is on Twitter. Go up to his profile picture and follow him on Twitter, guys. It makes it really easy. He's got the little blue birdie right there. You can follow him on Twitter as well as follow him on Blab. Thanks again, Addy Joseph. We really appreciate your time. How'd you like that there, Mr. Elliott?
Oh, it was cool, man.
It was
pretty cool.
It's nice to get a writer to come on Blab and actually talk to us and not do it through the phone, right?
Yeah, and next time you might want to let me get some questions in, you rat bastard.
Hey, man, you know me.
Come on now.
Just got to get him out there.
Why the hell am I here? For looks? Probably because, I am prettier than you, but I had questions I wanted to ask.
Well, you got to get him out there. You got to beat me.
I told you this earlier. I told you this yesterday.
You got to beat me to the punch.
I had questions written down all over the place. I'm going to punch you, all right?
You got to beat me to the punch.
Let me catch you in San Diego, and I'm going to beat you to the punch.
Hey, man, you got to get him out there. You know? Got to get him out there.
Hey, why don't we have Morgan jump in the room with us? We're going to do some NBA.
All right, Morgan, jump on in, buddy. We'll talk some more NBA here on Sports World Radio. Scott, if you want to jump on in too, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, Scott, do that. It's Friday. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, we got the Rap Bastard of the Week coming up in the last 15 minutes of the show, along with the SWR Humper of the Week, and along with the Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe Award winner. We got all our winners. We're ready to rock and roll with our winners. He's heading to dinner now. What's up, Scott?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you,
buddy?
What's
up, Scotty?
Just Waiting for Morgan to eat crow. That's all I'm saying.
Did you did you learn anything about the NBA there?
A little bit, I did.
Yeah.
Morgan's heading to dinner, so he won't.
Yeah, he's always got an excuse not to come on.
Oh, come on, Morgan.
Especially when he's got no way to defend himself.
Come take your beating, son.
Yeah. Come.
Doubt.
Jonathan Manziel football. It looks good. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, Terrence, jump in the room for a minute, man.
Look, listen, it's like this. Johnny was good in the first half because he was allowed to roam free. The defense let him roam out of the pocket and scramble. That's because I was eating chicken. That's why I'm licking my fingers. But no, he was allowed to roam, throw out of the pocket, scramble a little bit, and then the defense just shut him down in the second half. They didn't let him get out of that pocket. They made him play from the pocket, and that's where he was exposed.
How about their last 3 games of the year? Do you like those last 3 games of the year?
Brutal. My God, they're brutal.
How do they end up with a schedule like that?
Because the NFL gods hate Cleveland.
Cleveland stinks, and they give him
No,
the
they
last
don't.
3 games of the year.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They let him move to Baltimore.
Oh, stop it, Elliot. God dang it. Oh, God. I'm going to come down to Bradenton and kick your fanny. I swear to God, man.
Yeah, well, you're only, a 40-minute drive? Go. I'm
going to get in my freaking car, bad transmission, and a tendency to overheat, and I'm going to drive to Bradenton just so I can whip your tail.
Then you know what? You should do that. Then you could do the show with him right there from his apartment.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Hey, after you know what? Do the show together and then kick his ass. That's what you do.
We'll just put. Hey, you know what? We'll just put out a pay-per-view. How's that?
Yeah, right. How old are you, Elliot? What? With 30? What? 40? What?
54.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
Yeah. He's older than us. What the hell? They just got kicked out of the room. What the hell happened there? That was pretty wild. I don't know, guys. You guys got kicked out. Why don't you try coming back in? X yourselves out and try and come back in. Oh my God, what happened? We have it. What's going on here? Is it me? I don't know what happened.
What the hell just happened?
I have no idea. You guys were talking and poof.
I call Elliot an old man. All of a sudden, I get my ass kicked out of the room. I know. Jesus.
That's because God's on my side.
Oh, what?
I didn't touch nothing.
He's an old man too.
I didn't touch anything, man. I didn't touch a thing.
The Lord had his say.
He did. Wait. So are you eating Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No, I cook my own chicken. I don't eat that crap.
Yeah, that stuff is garbage, dude.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I eat my own. I make my own.
What did you make?
Just some a breast and not a breast, but a thigh and leg.
I make a mean chicken cutlets and spaghetti, dude.
There you go.
Yeah. I cook every night at the house. You know, sometimes I'm telling you, sometimes this Sports World Radio show turns into a cooking show because I cook here. So, we talk about cooking. So what happens?
Well, it's like the sports nerds. We start talking sports and end up talking about movies and pop culture and crap too all the time.
I have a guy who's coming back to the show. He's on a leave of absence right now, Nicholas Spiva, who comes on Mondays. And for some strange reason, he sits with us in the first hour of the show. We always end up talking about cooking. Always. I don't know why, but because he says he always has to cook dinner after the show for his dad and for his mom.
Well, so, I actually worked in a restaurant business for 16 years up until about 2000. And so I've got experience, fast food, casual dining things, Applebee's, Chili's, whatnot. So I can relate. I got some cooking. I got some skills.
Hey man, I love cooking. I cook every night here. I make a different.
It took me getting out of the restaurant business to enjoy cooking again because I started hating it.
Except for tonight, I'm not cooking. It's Friday night.
I was gonna say order some pizza or something,
and that's about it. That's what we're doing. I'm ordering. Well, my sister's laid up, so she can't do nothing. So I'm gonna order a pizza, and that's gonna be that. Hey, welcome, Tim, to the show. We appreciate you coming and hanging out. Hey, don't forget we do Monday. Don't forget we do Sports World Radio every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West. If you live somewhere else, figure it out for yourself.
Absolutely.
I like the banners, guys. They did a good job on it. Did a real good job. I like it. Yeah. Kind of got your door blocked, but I like it. How's that working out?
They're looking really good out underneath the door, but that's okay.
He has to do a military crawl to get out of his shed now.
It is. No big deal. Yeah, you know what? His knees are kind of old, so it's kind of hard for him to bend down. They're kind of shot.
Shot is more like it.
Exactly. Well, I got 4 screws in each of my knees for too many cricket.
Oh, the master ones in your head? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, welcome to all the new people jumping in the room.
Wow.
We do the show each and every Monday.
Jump in, man.
Hot Sports Friday on Sports World Radio.
Monday.
Come on in, folks.
On the East,
bring them all in. It's
Come
a limbo line, as Christoph says.
Look at that.
We got the Rap Bastard of the Award, Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe, and the SWR Hump of the Week coming up next. So don't worry. Get ready for that as well. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, what's on tap next, man? Mr. Elliott, what do you got for us next?
Why don't we take a look at a little story in the NFL that seems to be catching some traction here. The Philadelphia Eagles square off against NFC rival Dallas Cowboys on Sunday night. Eagles defensive lineman Benny Logan shared his thoughts on the Cowboys and the rivalry with 94 WIP. Hatred is what Logan said. We hate them. They hate us. The fans hate each other. Pure hatred. Logan elaborated. They just whine and complain about everything, Logan said. Shut up and play. I'm going to hit you hard every snap. Stop complaining about this and this. That just bugs me. You're a man. It's football. Shut up, get hit, and take it like a man.
Nice.
Quit your whining. Quit your bitching and just play football. Unbelievable, man. Wah, wah, wah. Quit your bitching. Guy, hey, millionaire, quit your bitching and play football. Yeah, how about that?
Eagles got nothing to talk. They're behind in the standings. They got nowhere to talk. So, I mean, come on.
No, they don't. But you know what? It's like that's the typical fuel that gets thrown on the fire of a Philadelphia-Dallas rivalry.
Yeah, but you know what? It's been going on since Dick Vermeil told these guys that put them on white uniforms against the blue uniforms in the NFC Championship game back in the 70s. You know, that actually fueled it up. Ooh. Remember that? They purposely wore they're all whites in that game because Dallas seemed to be having bad luck with them blue unis, and that's why they did that. And you know what? They've been talking trash ever since. Give me a break.
Correct. Hey, Sports World Radio is sponsored by Professional Recording Studio Equipment. You guys are looking for microphones, mic stands, anything that you need, especially if you're on Blab and you're doing shows, head on over to Professional Recording Studio Equipment and get your stuff
Well, it appears like we are on the front page of Blab right now.
Looks that way, man. 30 people in here. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you for everybody hanging out with us here on Sports World Radio. Don't forget, we do this each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, just figure that crap out for yourself because I ain't doing it for you.
Now, speaking of the Benny Logan thing, of course, our good friend Skip Bayless chimed in on that.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. Come on. What did the schmuck say? What did the schmuck
What do you say about my Cowboys?
Skippy says, thank you, Benny Logan. I can't tell you how much better I feel about my Cowboys' chances of beating longtime rival and nemesis, the Philadelphia Eagles, because of the idiocy of Benny Logan.
Yeah, because Benny Logan said some funny stuff or mean stuff, said that they're going to kick the crap out of the Cowboys, and it's all bulletin board stuff, and that's going to get the Cowboys all hyped, and they're going to play really good.
Hey, Skippy, remember your quarterback is Matt Castle. Get over yourself.
And you know what? He kept saying, my Cowboys and my offensive line. I don't see you on the offensive line playing. That ain't your offensive line.
In response to that, Scott, Skippy says, my guy, Matt Castle, makes one more key pass than Sam Bradford, and my Cowboys win 24-23.
What's the look
Oh
with
my
that?
God! You know,
Are you kidding me?
that Stephen A. is going to rip him a new one come Monday morning.
He already
if the Cowboys
did.
get blown out.
You know, was on this morning show, and he will rip him on Monday when the Cowboys go down Sunday night in Dallas.
Stephen A. Smith was ripping him on the show today.
Stephen A.
It was
Smith
awesome.
rips him every day.
I was trying to go to sleep. I didn't go to bed till like right after Mike, and I'm laying in my bed. I couldn't even fall asleep because I'm yelling at my damn TV because of freaking Skip Bayless. He was pissing me off so much this morning. I was yelling at my TV. I was yelling at him. Shut up, you moron! Especially the segment that Mark Sherrillis was on.
Mark
Stink was on. Yeah, when Stink
I missed that segment.
Yes, the episode that Stink was there. Holy freaking Toledo! Stink and Stephen A. Smith were ganging up on freaking Skip Bayless. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. They were yelling at him and putting him in his place. It was freaking
I'm gonna have to go back
awesome.
and watch that.
I was loving it. It was freaking great. And Skip Bayless is pounding on the freaking table and Stink turns around to him and says, I don't care what you say. You're wrong. It was great.
Isn't that what Green tells Golick all the time? It doesn't matter. You're wrong. You get to it.
Yeah. He calls it. The best part about that is when Golick calls Greenberg an idiot.
Hey, welcome to everybody that has joined us in the room. We are sportsworldradio.com. We are on 6 to 8 Monday through Friday right here on Blab, the Blab channel, and sportsworldradio.com.
Jeez.
That's right. You see the Blab
selling
logo
your soul
right
for all these watchers there, Jeff? What the heck is going on here?
I think they love the banners. They love the banners.
That's the banners. Okay.
That's the Blab
It's the
logo
banners,
right
man.
The Blab logo. Blab logo
It's the
right
banners.
Boom, boom, boom.
And those banners
Right.
are
Hey,
actually
man.
sponsored by
These guys right here. I got the card right there. Look, there it is.
Actually, the guys that made the banners for us are right here in Bradenton, Florida.
Nice.
That's the name of the company is Signs for Our Times. And they did an excellent job on these. I myself did the graphic artwork, but I took the files into them. They turned them into banners in 2 days, and that is the result of their work.
Oh.
You can also reach them at www.palmetto.signs.com. Palmetto spelled Palmetto, signs.com.
I can only dream of this kind of crowd on my show on Sunday nights. Holy cow, you guys are rocking it tonight.
Well, thank you for everybody for hanging out, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We're only going to get a lot more crazier, so get ready. It's the Friday edition of Sports World Radio. So we've got the SWR Hump of the Week coming. We got the Rap Bastard of the Week coming, and we got the Skip Bayless Douche Canoe Award of the Week coming as well. Get ready for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Where are we going next, Elliot?
We're going to keep it with Skippy right now on that Benny Logan situation.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Skippy is basically saying that all Benny Logan is doing is filling our bulletin board with
like
more motivation.
Okay, number one, Skip. You don't own the team and you don't play on the team. Therefore, you can't put the word "my" in front of the team because you don't own it.
And you damn sure don't coach it.
No.
Drives me bonkers that he says my offensive line. What are you? Are you an actual lineman on the offensive line? Because if you're not, then shut up.
It's funny you mentioned the offensive line because Benny Logan did take a stab at them, and Skip says, "Are you kidding me? Benny Logan, who is he to be questioning the manhood of my offensive line?"
Oh, God. How would he know what manhood is?
Hey, listen, your offensive line last year, when you had DeMarco Murray, was awesome. Your offensive line is the same this year, but you don't got DeMarco Murray.
Darren McFadden.
You got Darren McFadden, a guy who can get hurt getting out of bed in the morning.
A Raider reject.
Are you kidding me? Really? You're putting your hopes on Skip Bayless. You're telling me that Darren McFadden can run behind that line the same as DeMarco Murray? What the hell are you smoking? Are you kidding me? Really? Come on, man.
They must have
That's
good stuff up
ridiculous.
there in Stamford, Connecticut, or whatever it is that they are.
Last year,
Bristol,
when you
Bristol,
had
they're in
DeMarco
Bristol.
Murray running behind that line, last year when you had DeMarco Murray running behind that line, that saved and kept Tony Romo on his feet through the whole entire season. Now you don't have DeMarco Murray running behind that line. And what happened? Tony Romo got his ass hurt, and he's out.
Yep.
The only person you got to blame is Jerry Jones. That's it. But you ain't got the balls to say that, do you, Skip?
Yeah, well, they questioned the manhood of Jason.
Tell me about your Cowboys, Skip, when they go 8-8 again this year and miss the playoffs.
They're going to be lucky to go 8-8 this year. They're going to be lucky to go 8-8. Romo's not due back.
Weeks.
What, until the 22nd?
Weeks.
Yeah.
So they're going to be 2-7 by the time he shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think he's going to win the first week he's back?
Well, they got to go 6-1 just to finish 8-8 at that point.
Correct. Do you really think he's going to do that?
No, because he might get hurt again.
You think he
might get hurt again.
Hey, Skip, I'll bet money on that shit right there. That ain't working.
That's nice. Look at that. We're prime on the front page, guys. Look at that.
Hey,
that's
right on. Love it. See the banner?
It's the banners. It's all about the banners. It's all Elliot's fault.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so, how should I say, visionary.
You made the banners. Anybody, remember this show is brought to you by Professional Recording Studio Equipment. Head on over there. You guys need microphones. You need mic stands, mic cords, pop filters, anything. That's from Professional Recording Studio Equipment. That's set up right there that Elliot has. Head on over there, get all your stuff right away. Especially if you're doing shows on Blab, you want your audio to sound good. Head on over to professionalrecordingstudioequipment.com and get your equipment today and sound just as good as Elliot and I do on Blab.
Well, as good as Elliot does anyway.
It's that simple.
That would be Biggie on Smooth Talk Radio.
Yeah, I got you. I got your Smooth Talk Radio right here. Okay. Hey, Furcon, you like the banners?
You
buddy?
mad, bro?
Who, me? I don't get mad. I get even, bitch.
You know, I got you, bitch.
Even. I know, right there. Right there.
Anytime you want to come fetch it.
Right there. Right there. Hey, I thought the cops were coming for me. I thought the cops were coming.
They should.
Me. I heard them coming down.
They should.
Yeah, I know. So you got any more Skippy
quotes
for me?
Actually, there was one more where basically he kind of said the same thing that he said about the offensive line, only he cried a little bit more when when one of the other players on Philadelphia said that Jason Witten was weak and soft.
Oh,
I have never in my life seen somebody cry and bitch and moan so much on TV than he does.
No, Skip.
Skip Bayless.
Absolutely. He whines about everything.
I've never ever seen anybody cry and moan and complain on TV as much as that rat bastard does. Unstinking believable. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Hey, don't forget, coming up after our bottom of the hour break, towards to the end of the show, we're gonna have our Sports World Radio Awards coming out. Our Rat Bastard of the Week, SWR Hump, and the Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe Award of the Week. He is the worst female wrestler around. I agree with you there. I like that. Who's making those GIFs? Is that Christoph yes. again? Christoph
GIF Master C.
Yeah, somebody's got to teach me how to do those. Man.
That's what we're going to call it from now on. GIF Master C.
GIF Master C. All right, Elliot, what do you got for me next?
Well, it looks like we're going to go and talk a little bit of NBA.
Well, let's do it then. And for those of you who missed the interview with Addy Joseph, Sporting News NBA editor, you can catch that on the replay.
And where would we find that replay, Jeff?
On sportsworldradio.com.
In recent news, official release shows that the Mavericks have signed Rick Carlisle to a 5-year extension. What are your thoughts on that?
Rick Carlisle to a 5-year extension in Denver, in Dallas? No. That's not bad.
I mean,
I didn't think he was going to be able to get that because they really haven't played up to probably Cuban standings. So that kind of shocks me a little bit because I don't think they played up to Cuban standings at all. And I think Cuban agrees with that. So I'm kind of shocked with that. But just because he signs a 5-year extension doesn't mean he's going to make it through that 5 years. We've seen that a crap load of times, haven't we? We've seen managers, coaches, head coaches sign 5-year extensions and get fired in year 2. And you know what? Here's a great example.
Yes.
Ken Wisenhunt signed a 5-year deal with Tennessee, right?
23 games.
He didn't make
23 games out of it.
There's a great example right there. Just because you sign a 5-year contract don't mean you're going to go through it. And here's another example. The manager for the Boston Red Sox, Farrell, he signed his extension. Okay, they got a new GM. He doesn't have his team up in the first place or second place by the All-Star game.
Isn't Farrell coming back from some kind of an illness or something?
Yeah, he had cancer.
Yeah, well, you see, it's like, I mean,
I think that's why they didn't. I think that's why,
and that's why I don't think
the new GM.
Yeah, I don't
didn't get rid
think
of
that
him.
they would slice him away mid-season next season either. I think that they let it right out.
Slice him away.
Yeah. Send him off to pasture. You know what I'm saying? Cut him.
Is that kind of like slicing? Is that kind of like slicing the tumor out of him?
Yikes.
Slice him away.
Slice him right out of the picture. Yeah, that's a bit rough there, Jeff.
That is a bit rough. You are correct, sir.
Hey. We say what we want. I don't got no FCC up my ass.
There you go.
Let's say what I want. The only person that's going to kick me off is Blab. Otherwise, screw you. I don't care. That's what this show is all about. We're an equal opportunity ripper, okay? And we say what the hell we want. We don't care about the consequences. We're not ESPN for Jiminy Cricket's sake.
God.
Okay? We're the most unpolitically correct sports show you'll ever hear, ever, anywhere. Are you having a little problem there, Mindy?
Mindy can't get in?
It looks so. Try again. Well, I can't even get rid of her. Can somebody X her out for me there? Yeah, I can't even do it. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm kind of like in a froze mode, I guess.
I can't kick her out.
I just tried and it didn't do anything.
Wow, that's great. Hey, Furcon, can you fix the room, please? Thank you.
Fix it while you're here, man. Come on now.
Yeah, see, look,
there you go.
Lab right there. I like that, dude. It sits right over my head, too. It's perfect. I love that. Yeah, I got this thing at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I put it up right before the show, and I hammered a nail in, and I hammered my freaking thumb.
You don't know how to. You don't usually handle hammers very well. Is that you don't have your?
No,
he doesn't play well with toys.
Oh, okay.
I don't do any physical. Hey, listen, I don't do any physical work.
It's why your knees are shot, dude.
All the work I do is on my computers.
It's what?
I do all my work on my
knees are shot. You sit in that damn chair all day long.
I told
and then
you,
when you're not in the chair, you're laying in bed sleeping. So I mean, that's what it is.
Hey Scott,
yeah,
he doesn't play well with toys. Only himself.
There you go. There it is. Okay, bam.
Not even close. Okay, let's run to our final update of the day, and then we'll continue on with some more Sportsworld Radio. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and never ever touch a toilet seat ever again with your hand. It's the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Big E Elliott Lamba, with the final update of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. And right now, it is 30 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour. And we are here on Friday, November the 6th, 2015. For Sports World Radio, I'm Elliot Biggie Lumba, bringing you our final update. I'd also like to send a shout out to Ari Joseph for joining us today and sharing his NBA knowledge. We really appreciate it, Addy, and we hope to see you again soon. In the NBA tonight, the Toronto Raptors are currently facing the Orlando Magic down in Orlando with 4:44 remaining in the first quarter. The Orlando Magic lead 14-11. On the NBA calendar tonight, we also have the Washington Wizards visiting the Boston Celtics. The Los Angeles Lakers will take on the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. The Philadelphia 76ers will take their winless record to visit LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Milwaukee Bucks face the New York Knicks tonight. These games are actually almost underway as they start at the 7:30 p.m. hour as we are right now. The rest of the games to round out the schedule is the Miami Heat at the Indiana Pacers. The Atlanta Hawks visit the New Orleans Pelicans. The Detroit Pistons visiting the Phoenix Suns. Denver Nuggets flying out to play the Golden State Warriors. And the final game of the evening, which is an ESPN game, pits the Houston Rockets against the Sacramento Kings. Now, in NHL action, and give me just a second because my computer has kind of bounced out on me here real quick. I do apologize for the delay on this. In NHL action tonight, underway in Toronto, the Red Wings are facing the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are scoreless with 15:53 remaining in the first period. Over in New Jersey, the Devils are hosting the Chicago Blackhawks. They currently hold a 1-0 lead over the Blackhawks with 8:48 to go in the first. Dallas, the Stars are visiting Carolina, and with 8:07 remaining in the first there, the score is tied at 0. The rest of the games for this evening, the New York Rangers are facing the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado. The Penguins travel to Edmonton to face the Oilers. The Columbus Blue Jackets are out in Anaheim tonight facing the Ducks. And that rounds up the action for this evening. This last update was brought to you by the Flipper. Now, just imagine, folks, never having to touch your toilet seat with either of your hands ever again. Well, that's exactly what you'll have when you get your hands on the Flipper. For more information on this must-own sanitary device and to get one of your own, visit flipperflipper.com. Once again, that's flipperflipper.com. Now, let's get back to the show that delivers real sports talk for real sports fans right here at sportsworldradio.com. Let's get it back over to you, Jeff.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. We do this each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, just figure that crap out for yourself right here on blab.im, theblabchannel.com, and, of course, sportsworldradio.com. And you can always find all the replays on sportsworldradio.com. We're coming up to the final half hour of the show. It's been a fun 2-hour journey, hour and a half journey so far. What do you got for us next there, Mr. Biggie?
Well, we're going to go head back to the NBA since we haven't actually covered anything on it tonight, except for the time we spent with Addy. That was absolutely wonderful because I had a great time with Addy. He was very, very informative, and maybe next time I'll get to ask more questions. But
sorry about that, brother.
He's never going to let you live that down, Jeff. He's never going to let you live it down, man.
I'm the big basketball guy. I'm the big basketball guy. I love basketball.
Let's talk about the action last night in the NBA. We had the Oklahoma City Thunder visiting the Chicago Bulls. That game ended 104-98 in favor of the Bulls as Derrick Rose scored 29 points. Jimmy Butler added 26 to lead the Bulls to a 104-98 victory. Did any of you guys catch that game last night?
No, but I caught the highlights tonight. They were talking about it this morning, and so much of that Derrick Rose and divorce rumors. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about Derrick Rose and his divorce from the Bulls. Played pretty good last night.
Yeah, that's because I think he's starting to showcase his talent because he's going to be divorcing from the
So where do you
Bulls.
think he goes? I know you want to see him in New York.
I really don't want to see him in New York because he's too injury prone as far as I'm concerned. Man, the guy's been hurt every single year he's been in the league, for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. Every single year. Come on. If he's smart, he stays in the East. Gives him a chance to win in the East, because he goes to the West, he's going to get eaten up alive.
Yeah, the East is pretty physical, but I think the West is more physical with teams like, I don't know, Golden State, the Clippers, and guys. I mean, it's brutal out there. So I think
unless he goes to the Lakers and becomes the man over there.
You think Kobe's done after this year?
Kobe should be done this year.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's playing at all this year.
He's not playing very well at all.
That was one of the questions I wanted to ask Addy, but you know what happened.
Well, you should have just said, "Shut up, Jeff."
Next time he will, I'm sure.
Next time I'm sure.
He'll be on again. He'll be on again.
All right, next game last night was between the Miami Heat and the Minnesota Timberwolves down in Minnesota. The Miami Heat were pummeling the young Timberwolves into submission, but couldn't quite get the knockout punch they were looking for. Wade really showed no ill effects. He had a migraine headache. He did his thing. Wade's 60. Did you catch the replay on that 60-foot heave he did?
Yes, I did. From the 3-point line on the other side of the court. Yes.
Well, not only that, but he stole it and spun around and shot it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was nothing but net. That was one of the most ridiculous shots I've ever seen. And I mean, did you guys see any of the rest of the game, or was it just that shot? Because to me, that shot alone was worth watching.
Just the shot.
Just a shot.
I guess nobody's really watching Timberwolves games these days unless they're up in Minnesota, right?
Well, Kevin Garnett's playing, but he's only playing as a mantelpiece, so he can go out.
I think
so he can go.
Minnesota for Jiminy.
I think Kevin Garnett is actually some kind of coach going on there too.
It's Minnesota for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. Come on.
I kind of feel bad for the Timberwood organization right now with the recent loss of Flip Saunders. That organization tends to, have some bad luck on its side from time to time. So, okay, So we know that Rick Carlisle got a 5-year extension. Did this happen before or after they were defeated by the Charlotte Hornets at home last night by a final of 108-94?
Ooh.
They lost by 14.
They lost by 14 points at home
to the Hornets.
Yeah, to the Hornets.
God,
I mean, to the Hornets. Come on,
the Hornets finally turned in an old school NBA tactic, the post-up game. Al Jefferson scored a season-high 31 points on 15 of 18 shooting, and Marvin Williams added 17 points, 12 rebounds, and the Hornets pulled away in the second half for that final score of 108-94.
Wow.
The Hornets.
They used to be the Charlotte Bobcats. Now
they got the Hornets logo up.
Who used to be the Charlotte Hornets that moved to New Orleans?
Yes, they used to be the New Orleans Hornets.
Right.
Now that the Pelicans was the worst mascot in the NBA.
Oh my God!
It's like scary bad.
It scares kids.
Yes, it does.
It scares kids.
Yes. Hell, it scares grown-ups, for goodness sake. But it used to be, the Charlotte got the Hornets name back from New Orleans, and it's not going to help them anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, they say that, the name says a lot, but in this case, the main name really doesn't mean a whole lot. So the Hornets are actually playing again tomorrow at San Antonio, and the Mavericks will host those Pelicans we were just mentioning a moment ago. So
yeah, the Lakers play the Nets tonight.
The Lakers are in Brooklyn tonight. Yeah, that game should be getting underway here shortly.
Yeah, 7:30. It's supposed to start on the East Coast, so it probably already started.
Probably did. I haven't gotten an update.
And the Knicks are playing the Bucks at the Garden tonight.
So you got 2 games going on in New York City tonight.
Yeah. One in Brooklyn and one in New York. That's okay. The Nets will always be the stepchild of the New York.
Even when Brooklyn makes the playoffs and the Knicks don't, they're still the stepchild. Okay.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct. It'll always be like that because they were called the New York Nets and they played in freaking Jersey for Jiminy Cricket's sakes. Okay, well, how the hell does something like that happen? Okay, it's kind of like the Giants and the Jets. They call themselves the New York Giants and the New York Jets, but they play in Jersey. Yeah, it's the same stadium that they play in, right next to the where
I miss the old
Brooklyn
Shea Stadium. I miss that old field, man. That was awesome.
You know,
I'm telling you, Citi Field is way different than Shea Stadium.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, totally.
Especially the outfield. Because it's designed different.
Well, yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of today's what they call entertainment and value in Shea Stadium.
Well, they got that section where it goes weird, right? In the outfield, they didn't have that at Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium was a basic stadium. I mean, there's really nothing going on beyond the walls of the outfield.
That was the house that Namath built, wasn't it?
I miss.
Yeah, didn't the Jets play at Shea? I mean, Namath played there, and and then of course you got the '69 Mets that they played there as well. So I mean, but
beat the Orioles.
Yep. Yeah. So
and the '86 Mets won there as well.
Thanks to Billy
Bleepin' Buckner.
Yeah, that was great. That was the year I moved to San Diego. The same year I moved to San Diego, the Giants win the Super Bowl and the Mets win the World Series. Go screw yourselves.
Hey, Gordon Hayward last night was knocking shots down with regularity, an encouraging sign. His early season struggles are starting to fade. Hayward scored 20 points, 7 in the fourth quarter, and the Utah Jazz pulled away late to beat the Denver Nuggets 96-84. Hayward entered the game hitting 35.2% of his shots and was coming off a 7-for-20 effort in a 108-92 loss to Portland on Wednesday. But he found the range again against a familiar foe, scoring 20 or more points against the Nuggets for the 7th time in his career. So does it sound like Gordon Hayward kind of maybe checks off the days when he's going to play the Denver Nuggets on his calendar? What do you think, guys?
Maybe no.
I don't.
Why
think
not?
so.
He scores 20 points with regularity against them guys.
So
I'd be circling the calendar, saying, "When am I playing them next?"
But
if I know I can score 20 points against the team, I want to.
How many times they play the Nuggets in a season, though? It's big.
Well, they play twice, but he's done it 7 times, and he's only been in the league for about 4 or 5 years.
You still got to play teams. You still got to play other teams, though. Come on, no, he's not.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that if you know you can score 20 points against a team regularly, isn't that a team you look forward to playing all the time?
It's a team you want to play more than twice a year, but I mean, come on.
Right? How many times has he done it against them?
7.
7 times, and how many times has he actually played?
If he's played 5 years. If he's played 4 years, that's 8. If he played 5 years, that's 10.
Right.
So 7 out of 8 or 7 out of 10. Either way, he's very successful against that team.
That's a non-story. Next.
Well, because
it's not about a story; it's about an opinion.
It's next.
Okay, and we're entitled to those here, not just on the panel, but in the chat box.
True.
A team's got no defense.
Exactly.
Like the Browns.
They don't have an answer for Hayward is what they never have.
Right. That's why he's able to do that against them. But if he could do that against other teams, then that would be fine. But he obviously can't, can he?
No, he can't.
So he wishes he could play against them every night.
That's for sure. His calendar would be completely checked off if he played against them every night.
Right. So he's basically a one-man. He's a one-man team. He only plays good against one team.
Well, no, he plays good against other teams. He just has more frequent success against the Nuggets.
Well, everybody
the Nuggets are bad. I mean, come on. The Cleveland Browns are the friggin' NBA, please.
Hey, listen. The Denver Nuggets will make Jonathan Manziel look good, okay?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay?
You're entitled.
If the Denver Nuggets were playing a football team, they would make Jonathan Manziel look good.
You know, if it wasn't for Steph Curry, the NBA would probably be talking a lot about this kid, Damian Lillard, out in Portland.
Yes, but because he plays in Portland, nobody knows about him.
Lillard scored 27 points, including 7 3-pointers, and Portland used its speed, athleticism, and long-range shooting to beat Memphis 115-96. Now, Memphis has suffered 2 or 3 blowouts this season. So,
I mean, that's the problem. He plays for Portland, and nobody knows.
Well, yeah, nobody ever knows. I mean, how many people that how many guys that ever played for Portland just languished up there from a popularity or from a recognition standpoint?
Drexler actually thrived.
Drexler.
Well, and that was because they were playing in the days of the Bulls, and they were competing, and Drexler was one of those prominent stars during those days.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got a lot of exposure back then.
But he didn't win a title until he went to Houston. Is that right? Am I right with that?
Correct.
Right.
See, I know my NBA a little bit. Not much, but I know a little bit.
Right. He didn't win a title till he went to Houston.
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had to have Akeem backing him up is what it was.
Right.
Okay,
right. But then again, Drexler played for Houston.
Yes, he did. Houston,
too.
yes, correct. And he actually coached the college team there for a while too, if I remember correctly.
Right. If I remember correctly, he played with Akeem in Houston.
Yes, he did.
Right. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why he went to the Rockets.
Yeah.
Because
they were part of the well known at that time Phi Slamma Jamma.
Phi Slamma Jamma. You are correct, sir.
Right.
That was a really serious fraternity back in those days.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you a quick.
Yeah, but who did they lose to in the championship game?
Was it the Celtics? Who? No, it was the Knicks.
Oh no,
was it the Knicks?
No, they beat the Knicks.
No, I'm talking about the Slime Slamma Jamma, but there wasn't them. It was Louisville, wasn't it?
Oh, right. Houston, it was Houston. Okay.
State, right?
No, it wasn't.
It was Houston.
NC State.
Who beat Houston?
Yeah.
Beat Houston. It was Houston, right? It was Houston when NC State won with that miraculous Lorenzo
Derek Wittenberg to Lorenzo Charles,
yeah. The Jimmy V game.
Houston,
the Jimmy V game where he's looking for someone to hug.
Jimmy V running around the court game. Yeah.
Looking for someone to hug.
Correct.
Oh,
somebody hug me! Somebody hug me! Somebody hug me!
Please hug me!
Right. Was that Drexel? Was that Drexel and Akeem Olajuwon?
Yeah.
It was, right?
I think so.
Okay. I was right then. Okay. Yeah. So that's the only time they lost together.
But NC State had the will of Jim Valvano.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable game, man.
It was. It was amazing. And it came down.
That's when basketball was a lot of fun.
It came down to a 3-point assist.
Right. Exactly. They didn't have 3 points back then.
They
didn't have a 3-pointer back then.
Quick update in the end.
You know? Otherwise they would have called that goaltending.
That's right. They would have. You're right.
Now they'd call that goaltending.
And they would call it. They would definitely call it.
Right. Oh, you bet. You bet. What were you going to say, Elliot?
In the NBA with 10:18 remaining in the second quarter, the Toronto Raptors trail the Orlando Magic 24-19. Games that have just gotten underway are all still in the first quarter with 9:15 to go. The Washington Wizards lead the Boston Celtics 10-7. And out in Brooklyn, as we talked about before, the Lakers are visiting the Nets with 8:27 to go in the first. It's a 7-4 Brooklyn lead. Cleveland Cavaliers have gotten out to an 11-5 lead with 8:41 left in the first quarter against Philadelphia.
Well, that's not surprising.
And with 8:19 to go in the first quarter, the Milwaukee Bucks lead the New York Knicks 10-4. As we discussed earlier, there are other games on the docket for tonight. Miami is at Indianapolis. Atlanta is facing the Pelicans in New Orleans. Detroit at Phoenix. Denver Nuggets go to Golden State to get their butts handed to them. And the Houston Rockets tonight on ESPN at 10:30 p.m. Eastern will face the Sacramento Kings.
I'm kind of sorry Morgan's not here because we could call out Gerald for saying that that Golden State was going to lose to the Clippers the other night because Gerald, you know what I'm saying? Remember that?
Now you know Gerald's not going to show up for that.
No, why
would
he? Are
you kidding me?
Why would he?
Gerald,
why
would he? Exactly. I mean, the last thing he ever wants to do is face criticism.
Well,
for anything that he does.
He's going to find it Sunday morning, I'm sure.
Correct.
So.
I'm sure he's gonna.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm sure he's gonna.
And just to wrap up, getting close to wrapping up the show now. So.
Well, we don't forget we got the rap basket.
Oh yeah, we got the awards coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Just a minute or two.
And with that, after the awards, we're just going to go ahead and jump into some NFL talk about the schedule coming up this week.
It's going to be some good games this week, man. Really good games this week.
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. Other than that, I mean, we can go to the awards now if you want, Jeff.
Yeah, let's head on over to our Sports World Radio Awards of the Week. We have our Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe Award of the Week. We have the SWR Hump of the Week, and we also have the Rat Bastard of the Week as well. Let's do the Rat Bastard of the Week first, my friend.
Okay, Rat Bastard.
Who is the Rat
Bastard of the Week belongs to the New York Football Jets.
Yes, and you want to know why?
Please tell me why.
We're giving it to the New York Football Jets. I'm going to tell you why.
Dude.
Because those schmucks, I don't know if any of you people have seen this. I've been waiting all show for this. All stinking show for this. These Jets are freaking morons. Absolute morons. Okay? They have a new uniform coming out.
Yeah, they're going to wear it next Thursday. Next Thursday? Yes, I saw this.
Did you see it, Scott?
I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's the link for it, okay? They got their new uniforms. It's
from head
green,
to toe.
From head to toe. It looks like gangrene, for Christ's sakes. It's I wouldn't be caught dead wearing
that. They got Jolly Green Giants, only they're short.
The only thing that's not green is the white helmet. Everything else is green. Your cleats, your gloves, your pants,
your mouth guard,
your mouth guard,
socks,
sleeves, your mouth guard, your socks, your face mask, even your damn laces.
your nail polish.
Everything.
Yeah, well, it's
disgusting.
Yeah, but who looks worse? Jets in all green or the Bills in all red?
Ooh.
I would rather look at the Bills in all red.
Yeah, the Bills are going to be in all red. They are. I mean, they both are going to be head to toe, full on color next Thursday night, and it's going to be.
So what? It's going to be. It's going to be like a stoplight on the field.
Exactly.
Yes.
And who's going to be wearing all yellow? The refs?
I guess so. But this is what Nike is doing to the friggin' league, man. This is what Nike is doing with the uniforms. I mean, they're turning into Oregon, for Christ's sake. Give me a break.
No, seriously, they do.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. Screw you, Jets. You're getting the Rat Bastards of the Week for that move right there. That's disgusting.
And the red is as bright as your shirt.
And that's going to be next Thursday?
Yes.
I'm so glad I don't get the NFL Network.
It's as red as his shirt, Elliot. I kid you
to
not. That's how red it's going to be.
I don't have to subject myself.
Go to the NFL. Go to NFL.com. I'm sure they're going to show you to you. They're as red as his shirt.
Well, so we got them green this week. Next week, you know who the Rat Bastards of the Week going to be next week, don't you?
How about we give out a Thursday co-Rat Bastard of the Week?
No, we'll wait till Friday. Okay,
on to the SWR Hump of the Week award. That would go to one Seth Rollins in the WWE.
God, yes, what a dumbass. Oh, my God. You can't. Yes.
Dumbass. Tell him what he did, Jeff. Come on. Tell him.
SWR Hump, he tried to do a move, preventing himself from going into the table, and tried to take Kane and do a flip move. And he did it himself. Landed on his feet wrong, and boop, there goes his MCL. Boop, there goes his ACL. See, you wouldn't want to be here for 6 to 9 months, you
Don't
dumbass.
forget it was a meniscus, too.
Meniscus.
It was all three.
Meniscus, too. He did it all by himself.
Apparently he didn't want to do the backflip to go through the table. And then so Kane was just standing there getting ready to do the move, and all of a sudden Seth Rollins jumped off the top turnbuckle, landed and ripped up his knee in the process.
Ripped up his knee.
All because of being Seth Rollins, who is nothing but a show off.
No talent, bad on the mic.
He's terrible.
Coloring in his hair. And you know what? They need send him back to NXT because he's horrible.
He is.
That's why we gave him the SWR Hump of the Week.
He's awful.
That's why he got the
He was the weak link in the Shield, and he's the weak link on the roster.
It's ridiculous. So now they got so much shuffling doing over there at WWE. That's why I haven't heard from my friend today at all.
Well, the rumor is that they're gonna revamp the WrestleMania roster now as far as what they're gonna do.
It's gonna be what's gonna happen is they're gonna end up having a tournament style thing at the pay-per-view event, and the winner is going to be.
Well, we don't know that for sure yet, because I'm also thinking that it could be they'll do a tournament on Monday Night Raw.
They'll start it on Monday, and bring it down to 4.
Actually, the way I see it, here's how I'm going to call it. They're going to do a tournament on Monday to determine 4 guys to go to a fatal 4-way for the championship at the Survivor Series.
Correct. It makes sense.
Because correct. A fatal 4-way is kind of a survival type thing.
Make it a hell in a cell match too while you're at it.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's what I said too. But they just had a fatal 4-way on Monday Night Raw, which Roman Reigns won. So the one who really gets screwed out of this whole deal.
So once again, Seth Rollins screws Roman
Reigns. Roman Reigns. Right.
How pathetic.
Unless they automatically give Roman Reigns a bye into the fatal 4.
That's true. That could happen. They could have 3 matches to determine the other 3 guys and just give him an automatic into the fatal 4-way.
Right. Who knows what's going to happen? All right, let's get to our last award of the week.
The last award of the week goes to journalist / media / news people, so on and so forth, is called the Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe Award. And for this week, we are handing that award out to one Marcus Sullivan of Fox 26 in Houston, Texas. Marcus Sullivan was the gentleman that leaked the Vine video of Des Bryant's tirade.
Okay.
At the Seattle game when Ricardo Lockett was laid out on the field. Okay, the insinuation through this video was, through some pretty poor lip syncing or whatever it was, that Dez was actually barking at the guy that was on the ground. When on the flip side, every player on that field said that Dez was just randomly screaming to no one in particular.
That's what he does best, is run his mouth, right?
But this guy, Marcus Sullivan, decided that he wanted to make a name for himself down there in his little podunk Houston corner. Okay.
Because that's the only thing he
can. And he ran with a story that, I mean, to me was blasphemous, to use a word that that Stephen A. likes to use. It was total blasphemy. Okay. Totally disrespectful.
Okay? He's using them big words again, man. Watch it.
Because you're talking about a man's, not just his livelihood, but his life and his reputation. I mean, it's not that Des Bryant has a sterling reputation. Not by a long shot, okay? Because he's had his brushes with the law, with the NFL, so on and so forth. He is not what I would consider a model citizen, but he is still a human being that has family members, has a child, okay, has people who love him that don't need to feel questions about something like that or have to deal with something like that. And Des shouldn't have to deal with it either. No matter what his transgressions of the past were, he should never be disrespected that way. And I say, screw you, Marcus Sullivan. You are the douche canoe of the week.
Skippy Bayless Douche Canoe Award winner, Marcus Sullivan. You stupid ass. Before you do something like that, I got an idea. Get your freaking facts straight first. Before you report on something like that you had no idea what he actually said to begin with.
No.
Because you weren't down there to hear it.
Plus,
you're playing
he took a stab at lip reading, and it didn't work.
Correct.
So why? I mean, again, I can only see this, and I don't know if you would agree with me, Scott, but I can only see this as a ploy to further your own career at the expense of someone else.
Absolutely. It's a classless act. Des Bryant doesn't talk trash to people who are down and getting injured. I mean, that guy almost got his head knocked off, for God's sake. He was in the hospital up until yesterday? I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, Des is Des, and I know a lot of people don't like the way he presents himself on and off the field at times. But, I mean, come on, seriously, The guy was laying on the ground. Dez had nothing to do with the play.
Right.
Yeah, I know. But why is Dez opening up his mouth?
Because that's who Dez is.
That's what Dez does. I mean, he was the refs.
But I don't know if he was talking. Yeah, but I don't know if he was talking trash to the guy on the floor, or if he was just.
Well, he wasn't looking at the guy on the ground. He was looking at the guys that were in front of him.
As I said, it was confirmed by many players, including Sean Lee of the Dallas Cowboys, that Dez was just ranting randomly. I mean, Dez, you see him anytime something's going on that he's not happy with on that Dallas sideline, he's barking up a storm.
And these
not
days,
necessarily at anyone in particular, but he's just airing out.
Yeah. And these, like I said,
and he shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing anyway.
Yeah, he did. And again, like I said, he's got a lot to rant about these days with that offensive sideline. That Dallas Cowboys sideline.
He did come back way too soon, but you know what? I kind of see that as a growing up point for Dez, because he could have very well just sat out and said, "I ain't coming back till Romo does." But
correct, and that's what he's
coming back to give whatever he can, which won't be enough because you still have Matt Castle at quarterback.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Hey guys, that's our show for today. That's our 2-hour sports journey, right?
I was going to cover the football games on Sunday. Just run them off real quick.
Nah, we're out of here, man.
It's 8 o'clock.
Too late.
You're slow.
Hey, you know what?
You lose.
You snooze, you lose. Just like with the Addy Joseph interview. You snooze, you lose.
Oh man,
I'm gonna remember that come Monday.
Well, Elliot, he's
at 6 o'clock. Hey, at 6 o'clock
to a brand new producer. I mean, come on now.
If at 6 o'clock you see the ball in the window here spinning and you don't see me jump in, it's because I'm trying to get a hold of Addy Joseph to ask my questions. So screw your bitch ass.
We'll get him back on. Don't worry. Next time we get him back on, I'll sit there and shut up, and you ask all the questions.
End the show.
Next time he comes on, you ask all the questions, and I'll sit there and shut up.
You cut me off so you can end the show, and now you want to talk shit? Get the hell off the
show. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. We had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys did too. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we got our NFL Real Talk tomorrow, 6 o'clock on the West, 9 o'clock on the East. If you live anywhere else, figure that crap out for yourself. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Peace out, bitches.
For Elliot Big E Lamba, the sports nerd, my man Scott, for Addy Joseph coming on, NBA editor of Sporting News, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio.
Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escal and Sean Mann. Online at sportsworldradio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.